Questions of the week. Dave, do it.
Questions of the week.
Love it.
Remember I used to do it reverse?
You did.
So I got it right this time.
All
Yes.
right.
Okay,
Figured it
so
out.
I have a question of the week for you.
Sure.
We are seeing a lot of power of sale, receivership. Both of those come with as is, where is. Walk me through the risk of that. You know, what is the difference between power of sale, receivership, and then what's the general risk? Because we're getting a lot of people that are hesitant to jump in, not knowing.
Yeah, I guess how dangerous is an as is, where is?
Great.
Right?
TLDR.
You gotta clip that one and use it for
TLDR,
Instagram.
right? Yeah. How dangerous is a power of sale receivership deal?
Yeah, so great question. Working on a few of them myself right now. Some deals are as is, where is, some are not. Well, what does that mean? So let's first break that down and actually talk about what is as is, where is. Essentially, what that is referring to is you are purchasing the building as it stands today. You are not. There's no reps and warranties. So the easiest way to kind of conceptualize it is chattels, fixtures, and rental items. You're taking them as is, essentially, right? That's the biggest one. Even residential, that's a big one where people say all the chattels in good working order, right? That's a very typical term you'll hear. Anybody can relate to that that's purchased a home. And so when we're talking about that, we're thinking about the stove, the furnace, the water heater, the microwave, whatever comes with the house. You are asking that those items on closing or even extending after closing be in working order. With residential, we usually see that end on the time of closing. With commercial, depending on the size and scope of the deal, those will actually extend upwards of 12 months. Right? So 12 months after closing, we need to make sure these items are still in good shape. So don't use bubble gum and duct tape on the closing day to make this thing work.
Fair.
So that's kind of in a nutshell the simplest way to explain as is. Whereas that also extends to reps and warranties in terms of title, expropriation, deficiencies, notices from the city, myriad of things there. So how dangerous is it? Well, it really depends, right? Like people, I think the way they purchase, and I would always recommend a buyer try to insert reps and warranties where possible. Don't buy as is. Saying that, you're going to go through and do your due diligence anyways, right? So when I see an as is deal, I fully expect that buyer to go through their due diligence process. So full inspection, BCA, ESA, environmental, whatever, appraisal, all of these items. If you are asking for reps and warranties, it's almost like you can kind of cheat a little bit, right? And maybe you don't need to do all the. I still recommend you do, but if everything's in good working order, well then great, just go through on closing and make sure it's in good working order. So where I see this as a benefit versus a risk is essentially, we're seeing this a lot with receivership deals, and I want to throw that back to you, so I don't want to talk on that right now. But I know I'll throw this one to you as well. Do you find you're getting better deals? I think that's where I want to take this. Are we getting better deals by buying as is, where is? Dave.
Okay, yes.
Because I rambled enough.
No, that was great. Yes, but here's the caveat. We are seeing, so the market sort of come down, and at the beginning of the decline, as it pertains to multifamily, we saw the market adjusting based on some of the power of sales and receivership. So you remember some, deals were selling for $220 a door, and then a receivership deal came out and it sells for $180, and then all of a sudden all the new listings are kind of priced at around $180. Now what we're seeing is receivers' power of sale deals are being listed at pretty close to market. Yeah. 3.8, and maybe it sells for 3.6, right? As an example, but it's taking them some time to get there. Where we'll see a typical standard deal, and it'll list, pretty close and sell a little bit tighter to the spread from list. But it's not a huge gap unless the receivership power of sale deal has been stagnant and sitting for a long time. Right. And we are seeing some of those where they've just truly had so much market exposure. We're doing one right now that's a $10 million list price, and we're trying to get it for around $7 million. That's been on the market for like almost 6 months. right? So you would never see that gap off of the price without that kind of timeline.
Right.
So a bit of a ramble, but yes, we're seeing there's always a discount, but not quite as much as we did.
And yeah, because I know that was a strategy back in the day, and I'm assuming it still is, but I know when the market was really hot and things were selling, people would just say, okay, I'll buy it as is where is, right? So no risk to you.
Yep.
I'll buy it, but this is my number, right? And I did see that work. People were actually using that method. We also see it a lot with the bigger deals, right? Like when you deal with the portfolio sales and when the lawyers draft the contracts, most of those are as is where is, right?
Because those are sophisticated buyers, to your point, that have done it all. They've looked at everything, and they're like, what do I want your reps and warranties for? I don't, like, to some degree, I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're buying a 10 unit, it's your first one, you may care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it depends on the scope and the progress or the where we are in the deal. But to your point, like, I don't want people listening to this episode and going, "Great, my triplex, I'm going to sell it as is where is." Right? Don't take it if you don't want it. Like, there's specific things. So I'm trying to catch myself here because I go, I don't want people to take this away and say,
right,
that's the only way I'm selling now.
Good point.
But it's interesting.
What we are seeing, though, and maybe you can comment on it, is sellers readjusting the other direction. So actually pushing the reps and warranties. I think you had a particular seller group that was, doing some extra, like on top of a typical rep and warranty. They're sort of leaning in the other direction.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's just being creative in the market, right? So this group in particular was offering almost like a builder warranty because they did a bunch of renovations on the building, and so they wanted to stand behind their work and offer an extended warranty on that work. So there's a lot of interesting things in the market, right? And there's no one way to do a deal, and that's why this industry is so exciting.
So it makes it fun right now.
Yeah.
I hate to liken it to used car sales,
right?
But if you think about it, you go buy an as is where is. You're like, okay, well, I better get a deal on this car. Yeah. And if you're bring your mechanic out, you're probably not really that nervous because my guy looked at it. If you maybe it's your first car, or you just don't want that headache, and that's why these guys
extended
get that. This is the first
Yeah.
I've heard of like really a true kind of extended warranty. So it's kind of to your point, it's understanding the market, but I think that the mid to smaller size power of sale receivership deals carry with them some really good opportunity. Yeah. We're not seeing the bigger groups go down that small, so think like 10, 15 unit. But if you can kind of wrap your head around it and just know that if you bring the right people on, the right inspectors, the right reports, and just comb through everything, you should still feel extremely confident, and you could probably pick up a deal because it's summer that you might otherwise not
There's
get.
a fantastic pocket for intelligent investors who are looking for smaller size multis.
Yeah.
A very good pocket.
Yeah.
And it's like I scream this from the rooftops essentially because it's like I keep seeing it. And there's these opportunities out there, these five to call it 8, 9 units, right? Even when you get to 10, it gets a little bit bigger. But just being a savvy investor, I know you're working with one right now who is taking shots at these smaller listings.
They went from their larger size, they could grow, and now they actually met with me and said, hey, we're going the other direction. We're going to buy, these are our buying criteria, which is not easy to get, but it's definitely doable. Yeah. But it wouldn't be doable at a 50 unit. It won't happen.
But these listing agents are drowning with these smaller buildings. I see it. People call me all the time. Jake, what do you think I should do with this thing? I'm sitting here. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to say they're impossible to sell, but there's some that are just like, man, that's tough.
So have you watched the show Landman?
Yes.
Okay. The lawyer,
right?
I forget her name, Rebecca maybe. She goes in and she says at one point, this isn't a negotiation, this is a surrender.
Right.
And that's what we're doing on the buy side. It's like, our offer is 1.3 million on your 1.8. Are you interested? They hum and haw, and I go, never mind, Jake. I'll talk to you later. And then off to another one. And then I kind of
And then I'm
circle
blowing
back.
your phone up.
They do. Like it's
What
what's
happened to
happening
that
is it's a
offer?
longer runway, but we're
Yeah.
sort of putting these out. And it's, the challenge is, again, it's not a negotiation, it's a surrender. 1.3 is the deal. Do you want to do it? We can close quick. This is what we can do. To your point, don't need the reps, don't need the warranties. We can do this in X period of time.
It's such a challenging pocket right now, and I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Again, I've spoken with a lot of people. I know you have as well. We've taken meetings, and it's just these smaller, not purpose built's even worse,
Yeah.
right?
And
These
mixed use too.
These mixed use, these not purpose built conversion projects. Like it's a great pocket for somebody that does want to look at that.
Yeah.
Little off topic from as is, where is, but I think that
No, I think it all
that's
connects.
a good way to round
I
it
think
out.
it all connects. So
Yeah.
no. Can you give us the quick Coles Notes elevator explanation on receivership, power of sale? What's the difference?
Yeah. So I know we touched on this one before, but just to recap quickly. So power sale, essentially one of the lenders, first, third, second, fifth, eighth, whatever, is going to serve you a notice of power sale. It's a legal document, comes in the mail, eventually essentially saying we are selling this building. You are still the rightful owner of the building, but they are forcing you to sell it, and they're going to bring it to market and go sell it. Essentially, proceeds of the sale is going to go for the positions of the lender. So once it sells, first lender gets paid out first, second lender second. Whatever the proceeds are left over, that actually ends up in your pocket at the end of the day. So that's kind of the quick and simple. A lot of groups are leaning away from that right now because it does leave some legal loopholes. It leaves a bit of risk for the lender. Did they market it long enough? Is if you're only getting paid out, if you're the first lender putting it up for sale and you're the only lender getting paid out and there's two more behind you, you might have some problems.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why a lot of people are leaning towards the receivership angle, which is actually court ordered. It's a legal process. It goes to a receiver who then takes full control of the property, managing the property, taking the rents, et cetera, and works through a sales process and will only transact and close once the courts actually approve that offer. So there is no coming back saying, hey, you didn't sell it for enough. Whatever the court votes on is essentially the end all be all there.
Yeah.
So
Great explanation.
very quick little summary.
Yeah,
there.
that was fantastic.
Yeah. And both of these, receivership and power sale, they love as is where is. They need to see it that way.
They
right?
have to be,
They
right?
don't want to rep anything. They're
can't.
not.
Yeah.
They haven't owned the building. They don't know what's happening with the building. It's not that they're being shady. It's not that they're trying to hide stuff. It's just the bank can't rep and warrant it and then end up in a lawsuit because of something they didn't
The
know.
buyer bought under
Yeah.
false pretenses. So great explanation. So appreciate it. If you made it this far, like, subscribe, give us a follow, give us a comment. We're doing a lot of building valuations right now. So if you are a owner and you want to get a sense of, hey, what's it worth, even if you don't want to sell, happy to do those. And then on the buy side, there is an immense amount of very compelling deals right now. And some of our other team members have capacity. So reach out, and we'd love to have a conversation.
Right now. See you guys next week.